So Ghostwatch aired on the BBC for Christmas 1992. We're going to get into exactly what it was about, but we did cover this in our Halloween special in 2014. If you want to go check that out on the channel, it's quite a long video. It's about an hour long, and it had a lot of views compared to a lot of our others. In fact, here's a very short clip, kind of bad audio, but it's just a 10-second clip, but just so you know what to look out for on the channel.
He really didn't support it. It was shown originally in 1992 on Halloween.
Which was Saturday night.
Yeah, about 9:30.
Yeah, around about then. Yeah.
So this was something that a lot of people were interested in back in the day, and it's also had a new discovery from a lot of people that didn't even know that it existed back when it originally aired. But we've had a recent development with this, so I'm going to talk about it here today in this bonus video for this 10th annual Halloween special. Right then, so I was not expecting this today. This is really quite exciting, to be honest, because I'm a fan of Ghostwatch over the years. Obviously, I've been collecting anything that I can for this, and I've got to admit, there's not much to collect for it. So this is a real gift. For the bit of context for this, in terms of home video releases, the thing aired in 1992, and if you've seen our previous video that we did on the channel back in 2014, as we were saying, this TV special didn't see light of day for years and years. I think there was something in the very, very early 2000s, not a bootleg copy, an official release on possibly videotape, but also DVD. And this was early in the technology of DVD as well. I myself, the best I could do was get hold of like a pirate copy of that. It was very difficult. I remember that was 2002. But then over the years after that, there was a more mainstream release. We saw this one get released. It's from 101 Films, and they've done the recent release of this as well, the Blu-ray that I'm going to talk about here today. But this was the DVD. As I say, we've talked about this previously. There was also this DVD that got released a few years ago. I picked this up back in 2014 and talked about it at the time, the Behind the Curtains DVD. It's got a lot of interesting interviews with, for example, Michael Parkinson, Sarah Green, the late Mike Smith as well. So we talked about that at the time. But anyway, as I say, I was in HMV today. I wasn't even supposed to be going to Leeds. But I went in there just off chance. Didn't even know this thing was even coming out. And it got released today. So I saw this on the shelf. I tend to look at boutique item Blu-ray releases like Arrow Video, those kind of things. And this is another one that was released by 101. And it's very nice, as you can see. It's Blu-ray, but you get other stuff with this. This is an unboxing video. Haven't a chance to watch this yet. Like I say, it only got released today, as far as I'm aware, from what I've seen. So I haven't a chance to watch any of the extra features. But I'm going to open the thing up because there's a lot of stuff to actually showcase here as well. So while I'm kind of taking this apart, I'll just talk about it briefly. So I mean, I'm assuming you've not seen the previous video that we did, but it's got quite a fan base as this thing, and it's picked up a lot of interest over the years. People that weren't even alive at the time, or might have been very young, won't have any memory of it, have discovered this thing online. There might be YouTube rips of it over the years that have popped up. People have had a chance to watch it, but obviously a lot of people have been talking about it, and this was an early found footage type special on TV. There have been other ones as well. There was something called the Stone Tapes or something. Sometimes gets, I think that's had a DVD release packaged with Ghostwatch as well, from what I understand. So it's nice to see this getting like a very good special release. So what you get with it, this is the box itself. I've taken the shrink wrap off just so you can see. I'm discovering this for the first time, like I say. So on the back of it, you get this leaflet. That's one thing that annoys me about these kind of box sets. You get these and you don't really know. I don't know if it'll tuck inside. I don't think it will. It's kind of annoying that they do that. So this is a leaflet anyway. Let's just have a quick look. So 101 Films presents Ghostwatch 1992, a BBC production that terrified Britain on the 31st of October 1992. Despite being part of BBC Drama's Screen 1 series, the presence of trusted presenters, along with the quality of the production, convinced thousands of people the events depicted on screen were genuine and taking place live. That is true. A lot of people believe that this was real. That was why a lot of people were offended by it, even though it was advertised as clearly something that was kind of what you might refer to now as a mockumentary. People weren't as savvy back then. I mean, they're still not today, to be fair. If the big square thing in the corner, well, rectangular now, in the corner of the room is telling it, then it must be true. A lot of people just believe what they see on TV without filtering anything, which is quite scary. Obviously now we've got social media and more means of controlling people, but this back then just showed how gullible people were. Not just that, but the fact that they got so pissy about it afterwards and didn't like have any self-awareness of, maybe I should be kind of blaming myself for getting in such a state, or for letting the kids get in such a state for watching this, when clearly it wasn't real. But as it says here, the production quality, I mean, that it did look like a legitimate thing, and having these trusted presenters. I mean, if you don't know who these were, back in the day, they were on the TV a lot. Sarah Green, Michael Parkinson, Mike Smith, Craig Charles were all in this. So if it was real, this is kind of what it would look like. But some of the acting was quite terrible, though, from the extras and so on. So it kind of describes what the thing is, but we've talked about that previously. An inspiration to a generation of filmmakers and years ahead of the profusion of found footage movies that would follow, Ghostwatch is regarded as a classic of the genre and remains as relevant and terrifying and as inspirational today. Again, definitely true. I can't say anything in opposition of that. I remember going to see Blair Witch Project back in 99, and I came out of that thinking, I haven't kind of felt this kind of like weird about something that I've just watched since Ghostwatch 7 years earlier. So it left an impression on me, that's for sure. I remember being at school as well, kind of going off on one now, but I remember being at school a couple of years after this came out, and we were asked to do like a 2-minute essay where we would actually not read it out, but just a presentation kind of thing. And I talked about ghosts, and I mentioned this, and the engagement from a lot of the other kids in that class was quite good, because they were like, yeah, I remember that. And but of course it hadn't seen the light of day, so it was kind of like an urban myth at the time, was this thing, because nobody actually had a copy of it or could revisit it, such as we have today with DVDs and so on, and streaming. So as I say, this is kind of the context why I'm really excited about this. So let's take the thing out. That's what the point of this video is. So nice, thick, dense cardboard. As you can see, I'm kind of squeezing it. It's quite a nice cardboard case. Let's put that to one side. So what do we get? We get all this good stuff. In fact, I'll read the list, the itemised list. Special features. So brand new extras. There is a Do You Believe in Ghosts? A 30th anniversary documentary on the Ghostwatch phenomenon. So that should be good. And that's brand new. Commentary with film historians Shelley McMurdo and Stella Gaynor. That'll be interesting. I don't usually listen to audio tracks, but yeah, it's there. Limited edition booklet includes Extrasensory Perception Management by Sarah Appleton and Ghostwatch As It Happened by Tim Murray and short story 3110 by Ghostwatch writer Stephen Volk. And then there's a reproduced script annotated by director Leslie Manning and a set of 6 art cards. So we're going to look at some of that here. The writer Stephen Volk, really nice guy, by the way. I used to chat to him quite a bit on Facebook. Sound guy, really friendly, and yeah, legend as well, absolute legend, because he scared the crap out of us. So you get this book. There's quite a lot to it. So looking through it now, yeah, it's basically, as you could imagine, it's all this kind of stuff as described. It's annotated. That will be interesting. I'm going to have a look through that. If you're a hardcore fan, it's going to be very nice. But yeah, that's the cover of the thing. Yeah. What else do we get? We get this book as well. Oh, this looks very nice. So there's this. That is very nice artwork. It is expensive, £25, a lot of money to pay for a Blu-ray, but you're not just getting the Blu-ray, you're getting all this stuff as well. And it's nice to have something like this for something that seems quite niche. Obviously, this thing's got a kind of limited fan base. If you were to compare it to something like Star Wars, or even something like Paranormal Activity, obviously that's the same genre as this, but everybody knows what Paranormal Activity is, I'm sure. But Ghostwatch, maybe not so much. So this looks very nice. And then you get these art cards. As is tends to be the case with these things, art cards come in this kind of little binder thing. So I'm just going to take this off. Yeah, I'm going to have to tear it actually. So let's get that off. Oh, this looks very nice. So, as I say, you're seeing this for the first time, as I am. So, Craig Charles, he was a limited role in the thing. He only appeared occasionally. Mike Smith, really nice guy from what I understand. I mean, obviously he was who he was on TV, but even behind the scenes, I understand he was a very nice guy. And he passed away 8 years ago, I think, 2014. Michael Parkinson, TV presenter. This was the actress that was the paranormal expert that was in studio at the time. She was quite good. You could say the acting was a little bit kind of cheesy, but that's what acting is like on TV shows. It can be a little bit, oh, pipes, oh, you bastard. This guy appears a few times in this special. If you look up Pipes appearances, there's websites, but also YouTube videos that are dedicated to this, because he popped up quite a few times on this show. It's kind of subliminally for the most part, and when you actually see it and then you rewatch the thing, you're like, he's there! And you see things that you didn't see before. There was a lot of attention to detail in this thing. Sarah Green, again, really nice person from what I understand. Really nice presenter back in the day as well. She did a lot of children's television, so she always came across as really nice. And yeah, back to Craig Charles. So yeah, they're very nice as well. You could do something with those, put them in a frame or something if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but yeah, very, very nice part of the package here. And the actual Ghostwatch thing itself, this is the cover. This is still in shrink wrap. But yeah, I wasn't planning on watching this tonight, funnily enough, even though it was the 30th anniversary. I tend to watch this a lot of Halloweens, but I wasn't really in the mood for this year. I was going to maybe watch something else, like The Lost Boys, which had a 4K release recently, which I picked up. I was saving that. But I think I'm going to watch this one tonight. I'm not expecting the quality to be amazing, because this thing was obviously went out on TV in '92. So people have bought a lot of things that are all BBC archive stuff when it gets a Blu-ray re-release, and they're expecting it to be like amazing HD quality, like it's been rescanned or something, like an old movie. Doesn't work the same for a lot of these BBC shows and sitcoms and stuff. A lot of people complained about the Red Dwarf Blu-ray that got re-released, and it does kind of beg the question, should it even be released on Blu-ray, because that format is supposed to have a certain standard, but of course it is what it is. It's just being shown as it was originally recorded and as it aired. So I'll be interested to see how this holds up in that context anyway. There's certain things it can do to clean pictures up and so on, so there you go. But anyway, I could talk a bit more about the actual thing itself, but we did a video, like I say, back in 2014. It had a lot of views, quite a lot of likes. It had more likes than most of my videos get views. So that was good to see that video kind of launch and get that much attention anyway. So it's a pretty good watch as well. I'm quite proud of that video, because myself and my co-review of the core back in 2014, we had a lot to say on this. So go back and check that out anyway. But I recommend buying this if you're a fan of the thing, Ghostwatch. Add this to your collection, because it does look very nice. And if you've not actually seen Ghostwatch, well, maybe don't start by buying this, because it's quite expensive. But give it a go anyway if you can get a copy of it anywhere, or if it's streaming anywhere. Check it out, because obviously back in the day it was something that was quite inspirational. And I do kind of wonder how many people that went on to make found footage movies and so on, the more successful ones like Blair Witch or Paranormal Activity or Apollo 18, anything like that, how many of those people had actually heard of this, or maybe had even seen it and been inspired by it and influenced by it. Obviously some of the later found footage ones, kind of copies of copies, but some of the early ones that were quite successful, that really knew how to give you that creep factor might have seen this or come across it and taken notes. Anyway, so I'll leave it there. Like I say, this video wasn't even supposed to go out, so I'm gonna end it here because we've kind of already said Happy Halloween on the previous videos and so on. But I hope you've enjoyed this year's special series. I've enjoyed doing it. If you can check out on Brand X Reviews, we do have a playlist with all of the Halloween specials from previous years chronologically listed there. Which includes a 2014 Ghostwatch special that myself and the core did. So check that out. Obviously, the channel will be carrying on doing other stuff as well throughout next year, but we are planning on doing a Halloween special next year because it'll be the 10th anniversary of the channel and also of the Halloween specials that we started doing when we launched. So, right, I'm waffling now. This isn't about Ghostwatch anymore, so I'm going to leave there and say subscribe to the channel if you like this, like the video, and we will see you next time. Happy Halloween.